We've traveled throughout China, and honestly, we get lost sometimes, especially when it's Amoy leading the way. But there's one navigation app locals use that makes it a lot less stressful. In this video, we'll show you how to master Amap, China's version of Google Maps, from the initial setup to the 3-step workflow we use when planning our trips across China. And stay until the end for the part of our workflow that Amap doesn't offer. Navigating China can be a hurdle because the Google Maps we usually rely on doesn't work reliably in mainland China. The location data are years out of date. If you're on an iPhone, Apple Maps works well in navigation but can miss the level of detail that local apps provide. That's where Amap comes in. Let's get it set up. Amap, also known as Gaode Maps, is available on the Apple App Store, Google Play Store, and as a web platform. Remember to download the app before you get to China if you use Google Play, unless you have a reliable way to bypass the firewall. Allow the app to access your location while using it, and select English as your language. Let's take a look at the main display. On the right, tap the gear icon first, then General. Here, you can switch the app language if you need to. Next, if you tap Account and Security, you'll see an option to create an account, but you don't actually need one. We've planned trips without ever signing in. In fact, registration can be a hit or miss with international numbers and emails. If you do try to sign up, you'll select your country or region from a list. They are sorted by their Chinese pronunciation. For the United States, you can find it under M for 美国. A reason you would want an account is to sync your saved locations across different devices. But for us, just saving places directly on our phones work perfectly fine. If you manage to get an account working, let us know in the comments. We'll love to hear how you did it. Let's move on to navigation on Amap. Tap the layers icon on the main map page. Choose the map style you want. Let's try looking up a location we want to go to. You can search for locations by typing your destination in English or Pinyin. Copying and pasting Chinese names is the safest way to make sure you're going to a correct place. Tap the correct destination from the list. It will appear on the map. At the bottom right, tap the blue icon, and you'll see options on how to get there. Driving, public transportation, walking, cycling, or rideshares. The mode you'll probably use most frequently is public transportation. Amap shows multiple routes with total time, transfers, and walking distances. You can adjust the departure or arrival times over here. You can also choose preferences like metro-only routes or accessible routes with elevators. Start navigation and follow the steps. For metro routes, Amap will tell you how long it'll take to walk to the station, which entrance to use, the line and direction of the metro, any transfer stations, all the stops along the way, and which exit to take when you arrive. And once you're off the metro, Amap switches to walking navigation to guide you to your final destination. If public transit isn't convenient, Amap also lets you request rideshares or taxis directly inside the app. Tap the ride icon on the route options. You may have to select a drop-off point. Amap will show you the different local rideshare companies available, along with the estimated fares. You can increase the fare here to get a faster pickup time. And you can choose the type of car you want, like a 6-seater if you're traveling with more people. Amap links to your Alipay or WeChat Pay, both of which accept international bank cards, to pay for the ride. If you haven't set up your WeChat Pay or Alipay yet, check out our Foreigner's Guide to Paying in China with WeChat and Alipay to get started. Our personal tip: Amap is great for comparing prices across different companies, but we usually book through the DD Mini app inside Alipay because its interface is simpler and easier to use. Once you're on your way, there are a few other essentials that make exploring easier, like finding food, nearby attractions, or the nearest public toilet. You can find almost anything nearby by tapping the search bar and then these icons on the home screen. For food, tap this utensils icon. You'll see nearby options with the average rating, how far away they are, and what type of food they serve. When you tap into a place, you can look at the average price per person, opening times, photos, and reviews, some of which are translated into English. You can also use the mall or attractions icons to find nearby shopping and sightseeing locations. You can set different filters here to narrow down the choices. And for public toilets, tap here. Sometimes there are reviews and pictures of the restroom. Try checking out the other icons to see what's around you. If you find a spot you want to go to, you can save it directly into Amap. Tap the location and hit the star icon at the bottom to bookmark it. Once on the app, you can see all your saved places by tapping the gear icon and selecting Saved. And if you want to show or hide your saved locations on the map, tap the layers icon, then under Map Display, toggle the star on or off. If you're traveling with others, you can also share locations directly to your friends via WeChat, which makes planning and meeting up easier. Now, if you're worried about connectivity while traveling, Amap does offer offline maps. However, the download menu is currently only in the Chinese version of the app, so this feature is best for those comfortable switching the app language. Now that you're comfortable with the app, let's build on those skills. Here's our 3-step desktop workflow you can use to plan your trip to China. The desktop site is in Chinese, but here's a tip. You can use your browser's translation feature to turn some of the interface into English. The layout will be a little off in places, but it'll be much easier to use. We'll toggle the translation off and on as we go, so we can still grab the Chinese names when we need them. I start by researching areas to stay in, like Jiefang Bay in Chongqing. I copy the Chinese name directly into Amap to make sure I'm looking at the right area. When you open the desktop site, just close the login pop-up. Since I can't save locations on my computer without an account, I just save the spots on the Amap app if I need to. Once I have found a hotel I like, I will check its accessibility. The closest metro station to this one is Xi'an. Now I need to figure out if it's easy to get there. I know I'm coming from Shenzhen North Railway Station, so I'll check the trains on the 12306 site. The quickest route goes to Chongqing West Railway Station. Now I'll plug that station into Amap to see the commute to this hotel. It looks like a transfer from the Metro Line 5 to Line 1, ending at Xiaoshizhi Station. Toggle between English and Chinese on your browser to get the station names and destinations in Chinese. Amap shows me it's an 8-minute walk there. That's not too bad, but we'll use step 3 later on to verify what that walk actually looks like. Next, I'll build out the route, mapping out the transportation for each leg of the trip. I want to go to Tongyuanmen. I can see here that from our hotel, it's just 2 stops away on the Metro Line 1. I copied these details into a document accessible on my phone. And this is the extra step we rely on, the one thing Amap doesn't offer. While Amap tells me it's an 8-minute walk to the hotel, I want to know what that walk actually looks like. Is it a flat sidewalk or tons of stairs? To find out, I switched to Baidu Maps for their street view. Since it's in Chinese, I just used the browser translation trick again. Baidu estimates a 5-minute walk, probably because my Amap search included the time to exit the station. Click Panoramic View, and drag the camera icon onto the street. The interface can be a bit clunky, but as we maneuver towards the hotel, I can see that coming from exit 6, like both Amap and Baidu suggest, avoids crossing the overpass, even though it does have escalators. Just keep in mind that China develops so fast that Street View can be outdated. Here on Baidu, our hotel hasn't changed names yet, and the alleyway it sits in looks a bit different now. This quick check of a street corner or a metro exit makes us feel more confident about the route. With Amap mastered, you're ready to explore places like Chongqing, Xi'an, and Beijing. You might still take a wrong turn like us, but after this video, you'll always find your way back. Tell us how you plan your trips in the comments below. And if you want to see our trips in action, check out our full China travel series right here. Thanks for watching and happy travels!